Hello and welcome to a build/concept tutorial for the M900. This is my current best in the M600 series as of recording this. Now this thing is essentially torn into four pieces, I'd say. First you have the ammo belt. So actually this should be over there, but no well. So yeah, you have the ammo belt, and you have the feed essentially system plus the magnets. Then you have all the fancy bits, the compressor tower, part of the what would this be? Feed system, part of that wall over here that's connected to the compressors, and then a little bit of the barrel. This is essentially kind of the core of the gun. Then you have the turret plus the barrel, and that's about it there. Okay, so let me just organize this for myself here. All right, so first part I'm going to do is the easy part. Well, kinda. I'm just going to start with the compressor tower here. So we do that. Start on the tower here. Okay. And I just use rods for this connecting piece. Doesn't matter. You can use cylinders. What else can you use? Might be it. And I forget what blocks you can use for that, but I just use cylinders. Nice. It's right there when you open up the build menu. So yeah. And you're going to want to set this piece to be different. You're going to want the distance to be 1. And I believe that is the only difference. Yep. And then I just use another rod here. And these three here are motors, which here's a setting for that. So Q, M, Q, you can use whatever setting for this one, which I just use Q. I get spawned in. I just use Q to start it up and get the spinner going. And then E to actually start the magnets and fire the gun. So let me do that now. So this direction. And it doesn't really matter what you do for the spinner. I'd recommend this. Where's my piece? There it is. Recommend this configuration here. It's nice, small, has enough surface area to start smacking the ammo, so it works well. Grab the settings here. Okay. Yeah, also powered on, I'd recommend lock and toggle on. That just makes it easier. Yeah, speed 50, max torque 1000. Then I'm going to start on this piece here, this little segment. Just get that done. So 2, 3. Okay. And here are the settings for each of the compressor blocks. So this one is 0.1, can collide off, transparent on. And this one, 0, I believe all of these, yes. Besides this one. This one at the end is also 0.1, so let's do that. So yeah, just to say again, this one is 0.1, these three are 0, this one is 0.1. And there's that done. Then I'm going to start on the main kind of housing here. So we need a 4x2, I believe, yes. Piece. Okay. And I believe it tapers back down, yep. Okay. Then also, while I'm here, I'm going to do this piece right here. So this is just 3 plates, and then a round wedge out. All right, it's done. I believe this one is just basic. Yep. Okay. So that's kind of your bottom, which while I'm here, I'll also do this part, or the bottom here, just to get that out of the way. Here's the settings for the magnets. Now this is the part I said about E being repel and starting up the magnets. So range is 50, strength 10, toggle on, loose parts only on, super strength, I direct. I don't know if it actually does anything. I just like to leave it on because I assume it actually helps helps the bullet get out of the gun and travel, but okay. I believe that's a wedge beam. Looks like it. So actually I'm going to scoot this forward. Just help me build here and get it out of the way. Okay. All right, next I'm going to work on this piece. So I need maybe that's 6 plus 1. Okay. You don't have to have it go this way. I just recommend it because some of these settings help it push it in the right direction. So I'd recommend building these exactly how I put it. Besides these on the outside here, they can be whatever direction you want. So you can do it this way or that way, doesn't matter. Okay, so that I believe is that. Okay, so here are the settings for all the compressors. So all these here I believe are 0. Besides just one of these in here, one of these 5, it needs to be 0.1. All of them transparent on, can collide off. So I'll do that now. Check these here. And this one as well. This one here. Just grab one of these settings, as I said, one of these 5. Okay, and then these 3 here on this part need to be different. So they need to be distance negative 0.1, transparent off, can collide on, powered on. And I'll show you here. That just helps the gun kind of space out a little bit, help the bullets get down the barrel, get in the tube, all that. This decreases the friction essentially, or the sides it's touching. Just helps the speed overall, and really everything, honestly. Double check. Yep. Okay. What should I do next? Might as well just do this piece here. Okay. I believe it's just one over here. Yep. Double check my work here. Okay, yep. You just want one on each side for now. So yeah, this is how you want it in the end. Essentially, one piece here, 2 there, 3 on top like this configuration, and 4 like this, and then I just want to finish up the front of the barrel here. And the sights are optional. You can do that if you want. I prefer it just because it helps a little bit when aiming. If I had to lift it off the ground, it'd help, but yeah, just so you don't have to point it like this, helps quite a bit. Run the settings from here. And you should have 5 on each side in this, so 20 total here. And then just to say again, it's a wedge beam here. Okay, I'm just going to throw the sights on now. Where's my piece? There. It goes up to there, yep. I'd recommend cones. Yeah, you can do cones if you want. I'd recommend it. It just works well as a sight. You could do like pyramids, really any block as long as it helps you aim. So yeah, I like red for my sights. I just prefer that. Of course, you can do whatever you want for that. There should be 3 blocks there. And I'll show you the settings for the motors here soon. Actually, let's make this a little simpler actually while I'm here. Okay, here are the settings for the motors. So you just want, I prefer WASD for aiming. You can do whatever you want, of course. So WS speed, I'd recommend 1, just because if you have the speed too high, it does have a tendency to break. Pretty much quite a few things about this gun are focused around not breaking that belt, so I'd recommend taking it easy with this thing. So WS, other way SW, and of course torque at 1000. Top A and D, just for turning left and right. I also wouldn't recommend lock, same thing, likes to break the belt just because it's a little janky and it kind of locks things around. So yeah, it can throw out the belt, glitch it into a block, that sort of thing. So I'm just going to move the seat back here. I forgot to say, but this is your design now. Do whatever you want with it. You don't have to credit me or anything. I don't care. Expand on it, do whatever. It's yours now. So, okay, so I'm going to work on, that's all done there. Okay, I'm going to do this piece here, connecting to the ammo belt, because I think that's starting to finish it up here. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This piece just helps hold the ammo belt in when you initially spawn in, because if you don't have anything there, obviously this is just going to fall out. If you put the ammo belt directly in there, it'll just attach these blocks. So yeah, you don't want that. It's just out to here. Yep. Oops. Oops again. And same thing here. You can do whatever you want for this. I just prefer half plates and cylinders, blocks, whatever doesn't allow this to touch the rest of the gun without while letting you touch the ammo belt without falling out essentially. So this just works well for me. I think just how I originally built it, and I haven't found any reason to change it. So, and at this point here with this how's the block name? Round wedge out. Then you can switch to your actual ammo here. So let me just do this now. And for the tutorial, I'm just going to do one section of the belt. And actually, while I'm here, I will show you the settings on the compressed blocks. So essentially, what you want this to do is always be facing that direction, or in the end, get all these compressor blocks to point the blocks in that direction. What I mean by that is Like this piece, you want angling in that direction. And yeah, angle to be -90. In this piece, when this one rotates down, in the end, this one will be rotating in that direction. So in the end, this will come down like that will come down like that. So yeah, I'm just pointing in that direction. Same thing here. In the end, it'll rotate that way, but after all these pieces rotate, they'll be in that direction. This just makes sure that the belt is nice, curvy, so that when it gets in the gun, nothing's sticking to itself, that sort of thing, just helps it fire. Let me see here. And I just like to do 2 blocks normal, 2 blocks explosive. Here's the settings to the explosive. So the first one, this is your delinker here. This is the one that you want to be destroyed, to die. So this one, I just prefer M for my explode button, just because I have a tendency to push F for no reason, so I prefer M. That's my key I use for when I don't want to ever hit it. So here's this first setting for the delinker. Pressure 0, radius 0, speed 150. That's what I recommend for both of these actually. And on impact on, ignore self off. Here's a setting for the other one. So pressure max, radius max, same impact speed. On impact on, ignore self off. And I'll probably explain why in the concept tutorial for this. So here's the first one. And get the actual ammo. I didn't say before, but this is the front one is the actual round being fired. So you want that being built for damage. So that's done. Okay. I'd recommend these settings to the hinges. Just helps everything flow smoothly. So let me grab that. Okay. Missing here. There we go. Okay. So that should be that piece done. Now I'm just going to put the top on this thing. So I believe, yes, it's just one block right there. So plate, one piece right there, I believe. Miss it? Nope, that's it. So yeah, you want the rest of this to be open just so the spinner can do its thing and doesn't restrict the ammo from being hit. So, okay, now I'll do the feed system. So actually, I need to put the bottom on. Did I do that right? Yes, I did. Never mind. Okay, so yeah, round wedge outs, I'd recommend them. They just work well. Just want to do this preemptively. The magnets go right in this space for 4 blocks. And round wedge outs here. Yep. So I'll do the same thing here preemptively. Okay, and the settings for these magnets are different. So this one should be the same exact. Yeah, except I don't like super strength on. Again, I don't know if it does anything. I just prefer it that way. In range, you want to be 25, just because when it's firing, if you have this to be 50, it could potentially knock the bullet over here, so you'll be firing in this direction instead of this direction. This is the same problem I had with the minigun when I initially built it. Um, when I had it at 50 for all the barrels, it was firing like this. Let me know if you want to see a tutorial on that as well. Might make that. It'll be a long video though, because I think it's like 1,000 blocks, something like that. So it'll be a long boy. Okay, so magnets there and there. Okay. Just double check here, but that might be about it. why aren't we firing? Oh, settings wrong. What did I do there? Oh, I wonder if I forgot a setting on here. Oh, I never set these. Nice. Good job, me. First, can you tell us my first tutorial here? Yeah, all these here should be 0. So if you're wondering why your gun broke, that'd be why. Good job, me. Okay, let's try this again. Yes, that looks a lot better. This is how you want your barrel to look. There we go. Okay. Not sure why this one isn't firing though. Oh well. Maybe. Okay, so yeah, that's the build tutorial part done. So yeah, now I'll see you later in the concept tutorial. Okay, so here's the M900 version we built in the build tutorial, just right before this. Now essentially how this thing works is these magnets here pull the ammo in. So all these here. So this initial ammo gets pulled through here. Now because of this piece here, it'll stay in the gun while also being pushed through. And because of the actual direction of this is going, what is it? Counterclockwise, I think. No, clockwise. Sorry, clockwise. So it's helping push the ammo through. Yeah, push the ammo through, help it get through the gun, help it fire. And once the ammo actually gets to this point here, kind of in this area, then this kicks in, hits this block here, one of these, delinks it, and this shot is propelled through the barrel by these magnets here, I believe. Don't actually know, don't exactly know why it gets through here, but yeah, I think it's because of these magnets, because this block was here, it prevents this from getting through. So this one here. It prevents it from going through until it's actually delinked, and the rest just spit out, and you don't want that anymore, so it gets rid of it. Then, yeah. So yeah, the bullet is actually propelled through the barrel. Once it gets to this point, magnets start kicking in, and it propels out the barrel. I'll just show you here. You can kind of see that, how it operates. Yeah, the ammo gets to this point, then these magnets start kicking in, slide it down this side here, help it propel it down the barrel, and the rest is just ejected out the side. It's pretty simple, really, once you kind of get the hang of it. Especially me building these things, it's not very hard. That's why I was able to slim it down so much from, say, M700. This thing's big, bulky, especially the M600. I didn't show a video on this, but this thing is very bad, very bulky, but this is built a long time ago and some of the parts were in the game, so especially like compressors, it was built before those, so I had to use ropes. That made it a lot worse. Anyways, that's about it for this entire video, so thank you for watching.